The Pentagon firmly focused on China's nuclear, cyber, and space capabilities and what their rise might mean for the rest of the world. This after a warning from the Defense Department that Beijing would likely have 1,500 nuclear warheads by 2035. It's another nation, of course, that's seen widespread protests. A White House columnist for The Hill, Niall Stanage, is joining me right now. Niall, Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin had said over the weekend that China is the only country with both the will and increasingly the power to reshape its region and the international order to suit its authoritarian preferences, end quote. Austin says the U.S. won't let that happen, but should we be concerned?
We should be concerned. I mean, it is indeed an authoritarian regime. It is an expansionist nation. It has been throwing its weight around in relation to Taiwan, in relation to the South China Sea, trying to bring other nations in Africa and other places within its economic orbit. It also clearly does want to challenge the United States' primacy in the world. And, Secretary Austin alluded to its power. I think what concerns a lot of people is the speed of China's rise. Just to put flesh in the bones of that in one way, over the last 20 years, American GDP has roughly doubled. In that same period, Chinese GDP has grown by a multiple of 10. So that shows the speed of its rise and why it is a threat.
The defense secretary also says between China and Russia, when it comes to nuclear threats, China remains the greater risk. How so?
Well, because it is, as I say, on the rise, whereas Russia is perceived to be static or in decline. Now, in terms of nuclear power, Russia, of course, still benefits from the old stockpiles from the old Soviet Union. But you look at the degree to which Russia has gotten bogged down in Ukraine, a war that it was expected to easily win, and it's now, at best, in a stalemate, probably on the retreat there. Whereas China is growing all the time, not just in terms of its nuclear capacity, but, for example, the total size of the Chinese Navy surpassed that of the United States several years ago. Now, US is more advanced, but just in terms of size of military, China is growing rapidly and consistently.
Let's talk about the protests a little bit more. For the first time in nearly 3 years, some cities in China, they're finally lifting some of their COVID-19 restrictions. What exactly is being lifted from that zero tolerance policy?
So in your question, you noted about city governments doing this, and I think that's where the real movement is. We have cities, for example, removing a bar on using public transportation. It used to be in many major cities you had to have a COVID test in order to do that. Now you don't. Other cities are easing restrictions in terms of whether you need to be tested if you're buying certain medicines. Now, there is, in addition to that, the central government, which is clearly extremely powerful in China. It has loosened some of its regulations around isolation periods for those who've had close contact with people with COVID, but still maintaining its overall zero COVID policy.
Niall Stanage, obviously, it's still pretty intense there on the ground in China throughout many parts of cities affected by these governmental restrictions. Thank you very much for joining us, as always.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.